Pagoslow Springs, it has been a while. It's been a couple months since I last made a government video on our county and town council meetings, but sometimes you just need to take some time for yourself to relax and focus more on what is important in life. Like this, meet Pax. Pax is a peen machine, but he loves people and he's pretty darn cute, but sometimes it's just hard to get some work done when he's around, right? All right, let's get into it. All right. A lot has happened since we last put out a video on the town and council board meetings. The big news here is that the petition ordinance enforcing a $150 fee per bedroom per month for short-term rentals was passed by only 9 votes. 9 votes. Depending on your view, you're either pleased or discouraged by this. And we heard from certain council members that the people have spoken. But have they? Only 188 citizens out of around 1,120 registered voters approved of this ordinance. That's only around 16.7% of the town. Pretty low. If anything, I think this election states that the far majority of citizens simply don't care enough to even vote. That's really what the people are saying, and it's apathy. Given the history here, I can't really blame them. From watching council talking to the town attorney, it seemed vital to do a nexus study at this point. A nexus study in this application would basically address the relationship between STRs and housing and help form the basis for a policy for such an ordinance. It's usually always done before the ordinance is voted on by the city council. But since this was forced upon council rather than allowing council to go through the proper steps, it puts the town at risk of being unprepared should a lawsuit happen. Thus, the need for this study to happen sooner rather than later. All right, on to workforce housing. And this one just kind of blows my mind. We all know that Servitas Workforce Housing Project was approved by council back in 2021, with the thought of having 60 workforce housing units ready to go in 2023. The process and associated costs had already begun. But all that is in jeopardy now. The issue here is one of the approved locations on the corner of South 8th and Apache. A small soccer field in which a small group of citizens have objected to that location. They want to keep that field for their use, even though Yamaguchi Park is only a few blocks away. And now a few members on council have basically changed their minds on what to do here. And they want to explore alternative building sites, which would further not only increase construction costs, but could push the completion date down the line another year or so, which is absolutely crazy given market conditions. The whole concept here is affordable workforce housing. But with construction costs and interest rates rising, council's indecision here could jeopardize that. New council member Gary Williams mentioned that we shouldn't rush into this, and we don't know what's going to happen a year from now, that there could be a recession. And while yes, there is a level of uncertainty about the future, what we can do is make an educated guess backed by history and of course data. And here's what that means. Recession does not mean deflation. A recession does not mean construction costs and interest rates will come down. In fact, inflation is still likely to occur. If we look at history, the United States hasn't experienced significant deflation in over 9 decades. Even during the Great Recession, there was only a small period of deflation of around 0.8%. Even then, multifamily housing continued to increase. Take a look at this data. The Great Recession started in December 2007 and ended in June 2009. During that time, the price deflator index for multifamily housing, a measure of inflation for the prices of construction for multifamily units, actually increased from 119 to 123.8. So the chances of construction costs going down are very low. But here's what matters more: interest rates, and they are rising super fast. Now, I know the funding mechanics for this project are done differently than a typical home mortgage, but let me relate it to a home mortgage so it's easy for all of us to understand. To keep this simple, this project was slated to cost around $20 million with a 40-year bond package. Using a simple loan calculator with a 3.5 interest rate that was available back in December, the monthly payment would have been roughly $77,000. But now, with interest rates at 5.5%, that payment is $103,000, an increase of $26,000 a month, or $12.5 million over 40 years. But wait! There's more. The Fed isn't done raising interest rates, and today, the day after the council meeting, the Fed raised the rate by 0.5 point. And talk is they could raise another full point 3 months from now, which means mortgage rates will likely continue to rise. How high is anyone's guess, but if it rises at the same rate as it did the past 4 months, we're talking almost 7%, which means that monthly payment jumps to $125,000, or an increase of $23 million over the course of a 40-year loan. Now, I don't know what kind of rate Servitas will secure at this point through the bonds they will sell to Wall Street. And keep in mind, Servitas is a flat fee developer. They don't make anything extra from increased rates. But one thing is absolutely certain here. The rent subsidies will have to be adjusted. It's as simple as that. And I haven't even begun to discuss the increased construction costs of choosing a new site. So in summary, this delay will only cost more and not get much in return. Certainly not much to help residents keep rents attainable. I don't see how it makes any sense at all to prioritize a small soccer field over our workforce and possibly spend millions upon millions more to do so, especially when people can't afford to live here and take advantage of parks in the first place. The only way to solve affordable housing and workforce issues is to increase density in more urban areas where citizens can walk or ride their bikes to schools and areas of employment. And this spot really is a great location for this. Hopefully, council will come around at the next meeting and approve the project how it was originally presented. 3 of our council members are already there. All we need is 1 more. And just maybe, we can save a lot of money while keeping housing attainable for our workforce. All right, I'm pretty sure the new puppy is getting into something, so I better go check on him. Until next time, cheers, Pagoslow.